start again. It's a rich thing.
What's going on, everybody? It's the Bulls Show, aka Aiden, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to continue to talk about the buyout market for the Chicago Bulls, and we're going to be talking about another point guard situation, another one that could potentially be a potential buyout option. And today, I want to talk about a very interesting guy, someone that I personally like, but I'm not necessarily too entirely sure he would work out well for the Chicago Bulls. Today, I want to talk about John Wall as a potential buyout for the Chicago Bulls. It's clear that the Bulls, for whatever reason, want point guard help. So, we'll be looking at some point guards. I've already talked about Russell Westbrook. If you haven't seen that video, feel free to check it out. And today we'll talk about John Wall. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show. Turn notifications on and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls and whether or not you would want John Wall to join the Chicago Bulls. John Wall has always been a personal favorite point guard of mine. Obviously, I grew up watching him in many ways. Again, when I was in the, getting into the NBA, Derrick Rose was an amazing point guard. John Wall was a really young, upcoming, very strong defensive-minded point guard, and it looked like, again, they were going to grow up, I guess, develop into some of the best point guards in the league. And personally, I think both of them have done very, very well for each other. I can't lie. Derrick Rose has had a pretty good career. John Wall, bit of an injury-riddled career as well, just the same as Derrick Rose, but altogether, a couple of All-Stars, if I'm not mistaken, and again, a very, very good point guard in the NBA. Both of them now are obviously not at their best. Again, I'm not here to really talk about Derrick Rose, but John Wall is obviously not what he was on the Wizards, and I don't think the Bulls should be expecting that from him, in all fairness, if he was to join the Chicago Bulls. But he could still be a viable option to obtain. But, as per usual, we will always talk about his stats as well. So, in 34 games of action, he's averaged 11.4 points per game, 2.7 rebounds, 5.2 assists, shooting 40.8% from the field and 30.3% from the three-point line. So altogether, when it comes to John Wall, you're looking at a guy that is probably not had his best shooting season in his entire NBA career. I think we've seen John Wall to be a good and effective, offensive player from time to time. He didn't come into the league really amazingly good offensively, but he's really developed, in my opinion, into a very capable offensive player. But what you're known with John Wall, playmaking, and you're very much known for defensive capabilities with John Wall. And I'm not necessarily, again, he's not at his highest level. He's not what he was on the Wizards. He's not the defensive player he was on the Wizards or anything like that. But he's proven, even with the teams like the Clippers that he's played on and the Rockets as well that he played on, he is a capable point guard in this league, and when healthy, he can be a very, very good addition to have on your team. But the Clippers didn't see it that way. Clippers right now, the reports are they are very interested in Russell Westbrook, and they traded John Wall to the Houston Rockets to eventually get, I'm assuming, will get bought out if he hasn't been already. So that does leave the Bulls with an option to go and pursue John Wall. Now, looking at his stats, you can see that he's not going to be, again, a top 3 option. He's not going to come in with a massive ego and dominate our team. He's not going to be the first option, second option, or third option on the team. I think he's here to do a job, and the job is to probably start at point guard and be very effective as a defensive-minded player with the ability to facilitate, which, again, I personally think is a need for the Chicago Bulls. I think defensively, again, we're a very decent defensive team. Sometimes we're inconsistent, but for the most part, we are solid on the defensive end. It's usually our offense that hurts us in many ways. So with John Wall, you're getting a defensive-minded point guard, which we had with Lonzo. You're getting a facilitator, averages 5 assists per game. I'm not necessarily sure he's on the same wavelength as Lonzo, but again, he finds his ways to get assists. And again, he has a decent, scoring average with 11 points per game, which is, again, it could be a welcome addition to this Bulls team to have an extra 11 points by your side on a given night. So, yeah, I think John Wall looks like a good option for the Chicago Bulls. What are the weaknesses? Well, again, he's not a three-point shooter, only averages 30% from the three-point line this season. He's not known to be a good three-point shooter at all throughout his NBA career. And, again, it's his injury record for me that could potentially be a deal-breaker. Lonzo Ball is injured, right? We don't know when he's coming back. Javonte Green, we still don't even know when he's coming back either, but it looks like it'll be sooner than later. At least I hope it will be. John Wall has been out of the league for a long time due to injury. he's come back every now and then, but he seems to find his way back onto the injury list. And I even think this season, he's only played 34 games. So you're telling me, I'm pretty sure there's some injury concerns over there with John Wall as well this season. So you're hoping with John Wall, if we do pursue a buyout option for him, that he can remain healthy for the rest of the season and potentially in playoff situations. That's 28 games plus a little bit extra depending on the play-in and the NBA playoffs. That's a long time, in my opinion, still to rely on John Wall to play a bunch of minutes for the Chicago Bulls team and also to be, I guess, to remain healthy. He's going to have to prove that to a lot of teams in the NBA, especially if he wants a longer term, I guess, future in the NBA. Because again, if you're a great player, but you're only available half the time, are you really a great player? That's a great saying that a lot of people say. You have to prove to the rest of the world that you can remain healthy and you can be a very good addition to a team. In terms of what I think this team needs, I think he fits a lot of our needs. I really, really do. A solid defender. Wouldn't necessarily say he's the best these days, but he's far from the worst. I think he could definitely be one of the better defenders we have on the team. Simple as that. He could be a good playmaker. I think he would work well with players like Zach LaVine and even DeMar DeRozan and these types of guys. The only real negative towards him that I see is the same negative I see for Russell Westbrook. They're both not great three-point shooters, and I think it's clear as day we need a three-point shooter on this team. But in terms of a point guard help, I don't see this as a big ego risk compared to what you might see with Russell Westbrook, but an injury risk, to say the least. 100%, that's something we might have to face as a Bulls team. Getting someone in a buyout option that could potentially miss some of action for the Chicago Bulls, that will hurt this team. So again, it's a big risk to take. Is the risk worth taking? At this point, again, very similar to the Russell Westbrook situation. If he's going to come in and try to be the guy on this team, then I wouldn't take him at all, because we clearly have enough ego and enough, I guess, ball handlers on this team for John Wall to hurt us in that way if he's going to do that. But I don't really see that with John Wall. If he's going to come in, play his role well, just ball out. He's even said, I remember in an interview he did with the Clippers, the best part about him joining the Clippers was that he's not the number one guy anymore. The number one guy was Kawhi or Paul George, and they have been when they've been playing. So the pressure's not on John Wall to come in and average 20 points per game for the Chicago Bulls, nor do I believe that's what we really need. But again, be a strong facilitator, be strong on the defensive end. I think this could be a very good addition to the Chicago Bulls. Coming off the bench or starting, I think that could be a very good situation to go down. And in terms of fit, I personally think he fits better than Russell Westbrook, but he's obviously not he's not a better player in my opinion than Russell Westbrook this season. So that's really all I got to say about this situation with the Chicago Bulls and John Wall. I'd like to know what you guys think. Obviously, unpopular opinions sometimes, but it's fine. I know a lot of people are very divided on John Wall as well. But I personally, again, I'm a big fan of John Wall, so I'd like to see what he can do with this Chicago Bulls team. And I guess that's really it in terms of this video. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care and peace.